I'm here at the Lowry in Salford at BJL's Art in Advertising exhibition, and I'm joined by Kate Farrell, curator at the Lowry. And Kate, I just wanted to ask you, what were your thoughts when BJL first suggested that they were going to do an exhibition about advertising?
Well, I think it was a really exciting opportunity. I think advertising as an art form isn't often documented within a gallery space, so it's nice to kind of have the process and the end result within an exhibition context so people can learn a little bit about advertising as an art form from conception to the finished product. So it's a really exciting opportunity.
And what are the differences between an exhibition like this, which is quite visual and interactive in some places, compared to the sorts of exhibitions you're used to hosting at the Lowry?
I think this is slightly different. As you say, it is an interactive exhibition. It also has really strong artwork, so people get a real mix. So they get, as I've mentioned, kind of the finished product, as well as being able to join in with the interactive side of advertising themselves and get an idea. So it's kind of an educational experience, rather than maybe just coming into a gallery where people can't touch and can't take part, which is kind of the traditional gallery environment. So it's really nice in that way.
And do you think it will surprise people that you are hosting an exhibition about advertising, and specifically about this idea that there's art in advertising? Yeah,
I think so. I mean, I hope that people will come to the Lowry and expect a really diverse range of exhibitions, and this certainly opens out our audiences, I think, and we'll hopefully get new audiences in, design students, advertising students, which will be a really nice break for the Lowry, I think.
And would you also like to attract people who perhaps don't work in the advertising industry and sort of maybe surprise them a little bit in how much art there is in advertising?
Yeah, I think it opens up people's perceptions of what art is, and that advertising and design very much an art form, and that they can exist within a gallery space. So it's kind of educational from that side of things as well.
And just very briefly, what can people expect then when they come to the exhibition? What do you think is going to really strike them? What's going to excite them?
I think it's visually really strong. It's very aesthetically pleasing. We have framed artwork alongside kind of sculptural pieces that artists and designers have taken part in. So we've got our mug tree, we've got fashion elements, we've got video pieces. So a real mix of mediums, really.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Kate.
It's a pleasure.
So, Tom, we're here at the exhibition. It's still, as I'm sure people can see behind us, still just about taking shape. What's kind of, how long has it been coming together, and what's left to do now before the opening day?
We're nearly there. I think we're about 2 days from the last pieces going up on the wall. As you can see, with photographs on the floor still needing to be mounted. We've been working on it for about 6 months, off and on, but it's been a really exciting project.
And what gave you the idea of hosting this exhibition? I know you've had a long-term relationship with the Lowry, haven't you? Was that what inspired it?
Yeah, we've been working with the Lowry for, it's got to be nearly 10 years now. And obviously the Lowry is a centre of creative excellence. And we just really jumped at the chance to get involved with them to put an exhibition on, which gave us the chance not just to talk about advertising, but to talk about art and all the different disciplines that go within it. Obviously, it might be typography, illustration, photography, even animation. Basically, it's a demystifying process. You know, just putting a light on everything that happens within our industry.
Okay, so to talk us through the exhibition, then, what can people expect from it? What are they going to see, and how are you going to convince them that there is art in advertising?
So what's going to happen? They're invited along first of all, and the first thing you see as our focal point is a big neon sign, and it says advertising. And then it flickers, and then it just leaves the words art left. And we're not saying that advertising is art per se. What we're saying is there is a lot of craft involved in what we do. So the first piece you come across, you walk in and you come across the first instalment, and that's going to be for the Lowry, and that's 10 years of the work that we've done for them. Basically, it's about our relationship with the Lowry. So you've got some images that have won a few awards over the years and have worked really well.
So tell us about some of the work specifically that people can expect to see, because your clients have approved some of this work, haven't they, for you to be able to show off down here?
Yeah. So one of our pieces is for Hilton, and obviously Hilton is the tallest building in Manchester. So we thought it would be a great way to get the brilliant copywriters involved. So we set them a brief, and that was to write a tall story And again, what we did then, we took the tall story and we've mounted it on a kind of a do not disturb sign that looks a little bit like the shape of the Hilton building.
Okay. And I mean, what do you think will be the reaction of perhaps some of your peers in the industry who come along? I mean, do you think they will sort of agree that there is this element of art in advertising, and they'll see that creativity coming through from the exhibitions you've put together? Yeah,
I mean, for us, it's a celebration. As I said earlier, it's a celebration about craft, and you know, it's very exciting what we do. And there, as I said, there's lots of different disciplines. As I've just mentioned, the writing, there's photography, there's illustration, there's sound design. You know, I mean, I'd hope our peers would come along and you know, take a good look and realise we've created some really engaging pieces. I mean, and that's another point there. Obviously, the way the media landscape's changing at the moment, and you know, the TV ad isn't as successful as it used to be. So what we've got loads of different pieces that we've created, which we feel are engaging. So you know, and basically people can come along and spend a bit of time with them. That's
a very interesting point, actually, because we are sort of now in a sort of highly digital age, I suppose, and that's something that we've seen come in over the 10 years or so that you've been working with the Lowry. And this is an exhibition that you know, has some interactive elements to it, but it's primarily, there's a lot of print work on the walls, there's a lot of things that you can spend a bit of time with, and it's almost sort of seems to be kind of slowing things down and encouraging people to sort of really take a look at this work and appreciate it to an extent.
It's again, it's not about selling either. You know, we've used our clients to inspire the piece. So instead of sort of saying, right, we're going to do here's an ad on the wall, we've actually said, right, for example, for Thai food, we've worked with them, and we sent out a white cup to, I think it's about 30 or 40 illustrators, and we asked them to paint on the mug what a really good cup of tea means. So again, capturing the emotion that's associated with tea. And then we've taken these cups and then we've displayed them on a giant mug tree. And
what's been the reaction from your clients then? Because I can't imagine they'd have ever have thought they'd be sort of involved in an exhibition like this in a way.
They've been very excited. We've had great feedback, and it's been really nice working with them. I mean, originally we got the whole agency together, and everybody in the agency submitted an idea that we could have created here. And obviously, with them working with the clients, we sort of, you know, pieces involved. For example, there's a great idea which we've involved Salford fashion students with, and ASDA. So we've got a bit of an education thing going on. We do a bit of mentoring, and students come through us, and we give them placements. But for that piece, we basically gave Salford University students, I think it was about 2,000 carrier bags, and they've created some beautiful garments, and they've got a bit of a recycling message going through.
Very good. And how different has it been for you guys curating an exhibition compared to the sort of the daily stuff when it comes to creating campaigns?
It's very similar. I mean, you get a brief, you work with the clients, and it's about collaboration. Obviously, you know, your parameters aren't different. For example, I mean, are going to be slightly different. For example, you've not got a press ad to fill, you've got a mug tree. So.
Is it? I mean, you've got quite a big space here, and obviously, when you're talking about ad campaigns, you're often trying to limit things to, you know, 30 seconds or to an A4 space, whatever it might be. Is it a challenge in itself when you've got such a big canvas to decide what you're going to put in there and to narrow it down in a sense?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's like working with it's like working with I suppose within the agency on a day-to-day anyway, because your creatives, they'll write, you know, 20 or 30 ads for a TV ad. So it's a very similar thing happened here. We had 30 or 40 pieces which we could have made, but we whittled them down. As I said, we collaborated with our clients and the Lowry as well, because obviously whatever we did had to fit well with, you know, their own tone of voice.